So, one of the reasons why I like this book is it seems like a book that I've talked to current Seton Hill students and they've read it and they've enjoyed it. And we want people to be excited about the summer reading and not just feel it's some other difficult, heavy, scholarly book that they have to read. There's enough deep, complicated stuff that people have to read. Um,
So the question is, should students be reading in college? Should be reading The Hunger Games? Um, it has a strong central character who's female. It's unfortunately a trilogy. I've read the trilogy. And it is in many ways a worthwhile book, but I think for a much younger audience. The attempt, as I understand, for the reading committee is to get a book that the students here will read, because we have, in my opinion, a very poor record of student participation in these first year reading experiences. And if they can get students to read, that's good. I would like to have both, getting them to read and cooperate and read a more substantive book. And I'm just not sure that Hunger Games is as substantive as we should be reading at a university.
I love Hunger Games because I think it's a really unique story, and it's captivating. It really draws you in, and you never stop wanting to read the whole series.
And I really enjoyed it because it's very serious for a work of young adult literature. It's about a post-apocalyptic society, and I'm really interested in that concept, and it's very violent and just very unique, very different for a young adult read.
Do you think it's too easy for college students now to read for summer assignments?
I don't, because I think the underlying themes in it are really mature and really difficult.
Yeah, I think it draws some really interesting parallels with our world today and what the world could become. And so you can really take a deep look at government and at all sorts of things. And I think that that is the important part that college students will get out of the book rather than the actual level of reading.
There are a lot of reasons why The Hunger Games is just an amazing book. It has action, it has romance, it has all the traditional elements of an awesome, awesome book. The characters are amazing. I love the main character, Katniss, because in any other circumstance, anybody else would have been completely frightened by it, by what she has to go through. But she is like the strongest character ever. Whenever her family is dying of starvation, she's the one who picks them back up again. Her mother was practically comatose after the death of her father. They're living in a world where poverty is so abundant that they can't even get enough food to feed themselves. Yet she still manages to not only keep her family alive, but to also feed the community as well. And that strength does not leave her whenever she goes into the Hunger Games. She continues to be a very strong character, and throughout the series, she eventually, I don't want to put that in there, wait, that's a spoiler, that is a spoiler, I don't want to say that. But there are a lot of really awesome elements to the Hunger Games. It's basically just a very corrupt moral system in a society where there was an uprising and the government completely destroyed it and destroyed the starters of the uprising, and so they basically have children trying to kill each other. Whenever you think about it, it's a horribly gruesome concept, but the way that Collins displays it is absolutely fascinating, and it's a wonderful, wonderful read. You will not put it down. If you actually start this book, make sure you don't have homework first, because you will not let it out of your sight. It is awesome.
I don't consider it a college level book. I read it and I love the book, but compared to Greg Mortenson's 3 Cups of Tea, I don't see its relevance in today's world, and I don't see it being a high standard of reading. So I think it's a little insulting if we're to read a young adult novel. I think we should read something more along the lines of Three Cups of Tea, but still keep it interesting. I don't think content should be, what's the word, compromised. Content should not be compromised just for popularity.
Okay. So what do you think college level reading should be like?
I think that college level reading should challenge the reader and not only challenge them in the level of their reading, but also mentally stretch them. Have them go in depth. Like, I feel like the book that they've chosen won't challenge people to read. It seems interesting to go with a popular vote isn't going to teach anyone anything. I learned a lot in Three Cups of Tea, and I would like to see another book like that on an issue that's also very controversial but up to date in time and current. Also, it will teach people, like I learned a lot about the Middle East and cultures through that book. I think that's what the book they should choose for these incoming freshmen.
Go.
Hunger Games sounds like a good read for summer because everyone seems to be reading it. It's really popular right now. And it seems interesting. It seems like it's been recommended to by people who like Harry Potter and stuff. So I was like, I want to read it.
I feel like people who should pick the books are like students because like they know like what we're interested in because the book that they picked, well, what's the name of the book they picked that we're supposed to read?
Three Cups of Tea.
Yeah, nobody read that book. That book was extremely boring. So I feel like it's not about like you guys said like you need to pick like an easy book or like a hard book. I just think like they need like students to pick the books that we need to read. So we are actually interested in it. That's my opinion.
Probably have just something that will probably have something that might be popular a bit, but not entirely in the sense that it's going to be also read by your younger sibling, because that's just wrong. I mean, you come to college, you're paying for a more challenging environment than high school and junior high. And to be reading this book, it's pretty much setting you back into the stages, which is what we're expected to rise above. And what does that say about the school itself? It's probably saying that it's not any better than high school and it's not going to prepare you for the real world. So that's why I think they should probably not pick this book.